So you seem pretty good at reading people. How do you know if someone's trying to screw you?
The point is, you gotta verify. You can't take anybody's word for anything. There's plenty of people that I thought were 100% honest, great people, would never screw me, and they screwed me. Verify every thing. I mean, because, even if you feel like, oh, I didn't need to do it, well, you did it, now you know for sure that you're not getting what they're telling you is true. I try to verify everything I can.
And what about through evictions, like evicting tenants? Is there any telltale signs for tenants that come in, even if you verify?
If you check the tenant out and you rent to them and they're good and they're paying, they're working, then there shouldn't be no problem. I mean, things happen in people's lives. The problem is tenants' lives change, and bad shit can happen. Okay, it's like one day you can wake up and say, why is it I'm sitting back and letting this guy Jack screw me over so much? Mm-hmm. And you might say, you know what, Jack? Take a walk. Go find Jill. And, and then he's fucked, and then basically his life changed. And if he's paying your rent every month, he can't pay it.
What's the most expensive eviction you've ever been through?
Oh, my God. They were all pretty much the same. The reason why I got out of California was every time I had to do an eviction, even on criminals with police reports, that they owed me money. The fucking courts were so liberal in California, they all run the legal aid, whatever they called it, and then those fucking people, they all went to school at Berkeley, and then they go work in San Francisco and want to save all the people that don't give a fuck about nobody but themselves. Okay, those are the people they want to save. Listen, if a poor person needs help and they're a decent person and they need help, I'm all for it. But they want to go beyond that. They want to save the fucking poor people that are fuck-ups and criminals. And that's what they did to me in California. Okay?
What happened?
Every time I want to evict somebody, right away, we request a jury trial. You know what that means? It means I got to pay my lawyer $5 or $10 grand for a fucking tenant that owes me a grand and get him out of my place. So they use it as a scare tactic. Nobody goes to jury trial. But that's your way of sticking your landlord in the corner and making him settle. Well, give him 3 months free, pay him $2,000 for moving, go take him out to dinner or who the f*** knows, and it costs you thousands. I got out of California 20 years ago. Back then, every eviction was starting to cost between the lawyer's fees and the loss of rents and that money I had to even pay him to get the f*** out. Could be like at least 5 to 10 grand. Now it's probably, who knows, even more, 15, 20, I don't know. The politics there was so bad. The courts were just so one-sided. And the whole legal system was so one-sided. You'd have to be a fucking idiot to be a landlord in California where I was at. I had a class action lawsuit against me.
Oh, what was that for?
Because I was one of the biggest Section 8 landlords at the time in Oakland. Some raised a stink because on all Section 8 contracts, it says you should pay a deposit. It doesn't say you have to pay it, okay? Or there's a place for deposit on the unit, right? My trick to getting tenants, or one of my tactics in sales and marketing was, if you had Section 8, I'm a nice guy. I'm going to waive the deposit. And I'm not going to collect it. Because these people were poor. They didn't have the money to move into an apartment and move and turn on the electric and turn on this and that and still give you a big fat deposit. These people aren't welfare. People aren't Social Security, especially old people. Honestly, if you had a voucher and I knew my rent was guaranteed every month from Section 8, I wouldn't charge a deposit.
Yeah.
Then some crazy Berkeley, San Francisco group says they started asking everybody that was a tenant of mine that moved out of my properties. They do searches. They get a bug up their ass. This is a big rich landlord. He's just taking advantage of poor people. They went out and they asked the people, did he ever pay you back a deposit? No, I never did. Why? And they made me spend thousands of dollars defending myself just to tell them, listen, I never charged one. Why would I pay one back? Imagine that. That's how crazy.
How long did it take to settle that?
Went over months. Because once you get in that fucking court, they think they got big money against you, and you're a big fat rich guy. They're gonna just say you didn't do this, you didn't do that. They're gonna make up all the. You ever see a lawsuit? You ever been served with a lawsuit? The lawsuit says you're guilty. They're accusing you of all this. Doesn't mean it's true. You got to go to court and fight it out. You know, they're going to accuse you of everything under the wall without doing their homework. Because these lawyers, especially the liberal lawyers, are nuts. They just see, oh, we're going to stick it to them, we're going to collect, we're going to get damages, we're going to do all this, we're going to... Don't get me wrong, there's some lawsuits that are valid, you know, especially class actions, like with, you know, big companies that up. But, you know, San Francisco and Oakland and Berkeley is a different place. You're from Southern California?
Yes, from LA.
It's different. It's not even as bad as Southern California.
It was bad. I had to serve a tenant with an eviction a few years ago. Originally, this person was going to buy the house that I was renting to them, ended up not buying it. And then I gave a 60-day notice to leave because they weren't buying the house and wanted to sell the house. After the 60 days, they didn't leave, and they continued paying rent. And so I gave the notice to, basically the notice to vacate. And in that notice, you know, gave all the forms, everything. And
you did it all yourself?
No. So I hired a property manager to go and do that for me. And she signed everything, sent it back to the property manager. We think we're good. But the next month she pays rent again. And I think this is odd. So we actually have to go to the courts and file. And I sent the rent back. And it took about 2 months to go through the courts. The court rejected it because they say, in this, you did not include a COVID disclosure. And keep in mind, this is like somewhat recently. You didn't include a COVID disclosure. And because of that, your notice is not valid and you have to start the process over again. All because of that. Now, it turns out the tenant knew that. That's why she signed everything, sent it back to buy time.
She knew it, or she got legal representation to tell her that?
Yep.
She got it from a serious liberal. This is California we're talking about.
This is California.
She got it from a typical liberal California legal aid or whoever, chief lawyer that specializes in it. That's why I'm not knocking you, but your first mistake was not a property manager. You go to a legal lawyer. They don't charge that much just to process evictions to start with. You go to a lawyer that specializes in evictions. And he does the notice, he does all the filings, he does everything, and he's responsible for the case. Normally they have places that guys that specialize in that's all they do. They run a mill of evictions.
My issue was that I trusted her.
COVID's been over for years.
I trusted her explicitly. Her and I were on amazing terms.
She might be a good manager, but she's not a
But
lawyer.
when it came to that, I thought it would be completely amicable. I thought, handshakes. Like,
the tenant?
The tenant.
Yeah,
we're on great terms. And so it caught me off guard.
The tenant's thinking, well, I got to pack up and move. I got to find another place. It's going to cost more money. And it just, California is California. They're going to, they got these stupid things. Oh, you didn't have a COVID form. COVID's been gone. And what the COVID got to do with me wanting my property back? Your person doesn't have COVID, so what's the problem? And if you get COVID these days, it ain't a cold.